Yo, I want to be completely transparent with my entire performance and everything. And this is for myself. This whole week, um, I've learned a different like tier of, emotion, a different tier of, just it's I'll compare it like this. Let's say that you are in the NBA, you're a rookie, you are on a good team, and as a rookie, you don't really have the experience of the playoffs or the NBA finals yet, but you have the potential for it. You have great potential. You're playing so well, you're scoring like crazy. You don't want to get overconfident, cocky, nothing like that. You just want to play. And guess what? Next thing you know is you're an asset. Your production is carrying the team. And now you guys make it to the playoffs, right? Great team. You make it to the playoffs. That's the evaluation stage in trading. Now, let's talk about what comes after. You get funded. You get excited. You get like, yay, I'm going to make money, right? You're ready to trade. As soon as you get that account, you are ready to rip it. But that's where everything else comes into play. New emotions, um, just new things that creep up that you didn't realize, or maybe you do, and you make a couple mistakes, you overtrade a bit, you look at profit in the eyes. Let's say price went to your level and you still didn't close. Those are mistakes, like I guess you could say those are like rookie mistakes, right? I guess you can say those are mistakes that a seasoned trader who has been profitable for a while doesn't really make. And yeah, I mean, profitable traders still deal with the emotions of over trading and FOMO and all that shit. But let's be real. They have a strategy. They follow their system. They trust their system. Their system protects them from the FOMO and all this shit they feel. So now you make it to the playoffs of the NBA. That's a whole new ball game. People are extra competitive. They want the extra money that comes with winning. They want the recognition that comes from performing. They want the championship. They want to grind their way up to the championship. You got like Kobe Bryant, you got LeBron, Carmelo. I'm not talking about today's NBA. I'm talking about the NBA in the last decade, because that's when the NBA was the most competitive. And so as a rookie, it's like you're a new guy and you're in the playoffs against Bron, Kobe, Carmelo. It's a show. And the thing is like you get into these new environments, you're in that funded stage, right? You're in a funded stage. Let's say that you get in the playoffs, you're playing well, you're still performing, but you're making some mistakes. The pressure's getting to your head a bit. Maybe you're excited, maybe you're performing, and shit happens, right? I get it. You lose trades. You don't take profits when you see them. You make little mistakes like that. You have the right idea, and then the market rips in your favor, and you're not in the position. You know, you're in drawdown. Maybe you're close to losing the funded. You crash out a bit, you spiral, you tilt. That's okay. It's okay. You survive. You survive yourself. You got to survive yourself. You got to cool it down. You got to get back. You got to practice your stillness again. You got to get back. Get your head back right. and you get back into the market that next week, and you get in there with low size, smaller size, and you trade every day, one trade a day or two, small risk, moderate reward, simple reward. You don't need home runs right now. You don't need any of this other shit. All you need is to make good decisions, to be patient, to sit on your ass and watch and wait for your setup to appear, for your pattern to appear. So, the NBA Finals, last two teams, pressure is all-time high. Your legacy's on the line. That's how it feels, right? You're a rookie. First time in the NBA Finals and you made it. That's uncommon, but it's possible and it's common. I mean, not common, but it's possible and uncommon. And it's possible. Not many make it. NBA is a limited stage, just like trading is. Only a small amount of people make it. But trading that's what it is. Experience. It's getting the experience that you need. And this is what I got this week. I survived myself this week. So far I have, And I'll be completely transparent, I did tilt a bit this week. I did get too excited. I did visit drawdown. I'm actually down on my accounts right now. Right? 9 trades. And you want to know what happened? I took one trade. In the beginning, I took one trade. I saw $800 in profit. And I didn't. I didn't. No, that was the second trade, because the first trade was a pre-jab. Sorry, that was the second trade. Bro, when I tell you, I'm like, my shit was, I would have been up 1,000 today. But I didn't do it, man. I overtraded. Most of these trades that I took gave me all the profit I needed. They gave me the profit I needed. They gave it to me. But a couple things happened. I didn't close the trade. I didn't take my money. Maybe I switched positions. But the real root cause is that I got impatient and I got a little fucking tilted, and I made some emotional decisions when I shouldn't have, when it comes to, being in that drawdown and seeing that how much profit I could have taken and I didn't take it. It's a real thing. But it's a part of the story. It's a part of a journey. This is the first ever funded account that I get approved for, where I passed it in a way that I'm proud of passing it. And now I'm in that funded stage. And I'm getting that experience, those different emotions that have came to me. I'm getting that experience. And I'm internalizing it, and I'm turning it all into power. That's what I'm doing. And I'm not going to stop. I learned so much. Anybody would have tilted and been on some shit right now. But me, no. I'm coming back, and I'm going to pop in every single day. I'm going to neutralize the emotions that I felt and the possible emotions that I'll feel. And I'm going to get back to what I need to do so I can... What got me funded is what's going to get me paid out. The decisions I've made. The way I waited. The way that I just waited for that trade. That's all. So this week has been a tough one. But that's because I let emotions creep in. That's it. That's it.